After COVID especially, I think kids have like really drawn back to themselves. A lot of people don't really count the opinions of little kids. I recited this poem that I wrote myself, and I was like so nervous to perform in front of an entire crowd and show them like, hey, this is what I've written.
These are the highlights of a call I had with Ananya. She was a part of Tiny Monkey stage almost from the very beginning, really. And I loved having this conversation with her. We touched on quite a few things: the impact of COVID on students, how kids speak, the importance of public speaking, her experiences with Tiny Monkey stage, and how dancing is something that she really likes. And also, how having a bank of creative output from a very young age is amazing, and more kids should be doing that, whether it's writing blogs, whether it's performing at places like Tiny Monkey stage, or anything else for that matter. I hope you enjoy this. So Ananya, the last 3 years COVID has caused havoc in the lives of so many people. How are you seeing students being affected by COVID?
After COVID especially, I think kids have like really drawn back to themselves, and they're not really willing to talk. I see it even now at the age of 17 with like kids my own age. So obviously it must be like much harder for kids who are like 10 and 11 to actually go out there and speak in front of a crowd when the entire COVID scenario was on. You could just mute your mic, or you could just stop showing your own face, like you could switch off your camera, and suddenly you're not there anymore. You can't do that when you're physically in class. And I remember my brother really struggling with it because he has been a shy person from the beginning. But I remember him coming back and saying, like, when I went to school, I felt really weird because if ma'am, like, she called me out to talk about something, I had to talk about it. And I didn't really have a choice when it came to it. And I was stuttering and I felt really embarrassed. And I don't think any child should feel that way. No one has experienced what they are experiencing now.
Yeah.
So I think that to show them that it's like, even being called out to talk in class, it's something that you should embrace in a way, or how you should be confident when it comes to talking in class or talking anywhere for that matter. We need to learn how to converse. I think it's something that we've forgotten over the past 3 years.
Hmm. So, Ananya, I hear you. There are a lot of people who have challenges with public speaking. Why do you think it's necessary in the first place?
You don't need to have a diploma in public speaking, or you don't, if as long as you know how to speak, that's all that matters. Like it helps you everywhere. It doesn't need to be just public speaking. It literally helps you everywhere. It helps you speak in front of a class. It helps you speak in front of your own parents sometimes. It gives you that confidence, and I think that's something that's really necessary.
Hmm. Helping you speak in front of your parents. True, true. Uh, Tell me, what are the memories from Tiny Monkey stage that you remember? What are the kind of things that come to your mind when you think of Tiny Monkey stage?
It's always been really welcoming, and like the environment itself is really comfortable, especially like even the venues that we used to go to. I remember going to a dog cafe once. Even that was something that really, it was a lot of fun basically. And I really like the idea of rewarding children after they're done with speaking, because rewards are always enticing, especially to like little kids. It's always something that you look forward to. And having unique rewards, like getting to play with a dog, or getting to be on a radio show, or getting a free froyo. It's something that you would look forward to. And the idea of speaking doesn't seem that hard or that scary anymore when you get to like the reward part. So I feel like it's like an entire process, like once you do it, once you realize oh, like I can speak, and after that I'm going to get a reward. It kind of it gets ingrained in you that okay, if I can do this, I can also like do that, and I can go on a bigger stage and maybe talk more. And Tiny Monkey stage was always something that was comforting to me. Like the idea of going there was always something that I all looked forward to all the time, because I was with a crowd that I really enjoyed. And especially like I remember we went to an open movie theater once and we watched Hachiko together, and that was one of my best moments there, because like I remember the speech I gave there and I really enjoyed it, and I remember us watching the movie together, and it was such a good experience. So I definitely feel like you should continue with the entire reward system, and continue with the ice breaking things that happen before we start speaking, especially the dance. Like that was such an important and integral part of Tiny Monkey stage.
Yes, the dancing. It was also one of my favorite parts. Tell me more. What did you think about the dancing?
I always felt when we danced together, it really made me comfortable with the crowd that I was with, even if I was like afraid or shy to speak about something. The entire idea of dancing together, I don't know why, but it like really brought everyone together. And I feel like that's the best way to kind of make a child more comfortable with the crowd that they're going to be with. I was always excited to dance. We had like steps that we were like, they were choreographed and everything.
We were TikTok before there was
Yes,
TikTok.
yes, exactly. If you know that you can be, that weird with that entire crowd, then of course speaking is like nothing different. It's easier.
Ananya, I know that you used to write a blog from when you were a kid. You used to come to Tiny Monkey Stage so often. I wonder how you think of what you had written and the videos of yours speaking at Tiny Monkey Stage when you were a kid. Because now you have like a bank of creative output of yours from the time you were a child.
Whenever I look back on like the videos of me performing that my mom has like on Tiny Monkey Stage and even like your own Instagram account, it's always like nostalgic for me. Like, okay, I was like a little kid and I recited this poem that I wrote myself, and I was like so nervous to perform in front of an entire crowd and show them like, hey, this is what I've written. It's nice to come back to it sometimes. I do look back at what I've done earlier because it's a little embarrassing because I was like a little kid and I used to write all these things. But at the same time, it's so nice to see that I did it at such a young age and to see like the things I wrote, book reviews and everything, like giving my opinions when a lot of people don't really count the opinions of little kids,
Mhm,
and that's why I
mhm.
really like Tiny Monkey Stage too, to have that opinion out. That's really great. So I really like the idea of blogging, and I feel like a lot of kids should do that at a young age too.
Oh, definitely. I think to have a bank of creative output from such a young age that you can look back at is beautiful. Uh, as we wrap this up, Ananya, are there any final thoughts that you have? Anything that you want to say? I'd love to hear.
Like I owe a lot to Tiny Monkey Stage because I did it when I was like really young. I would have been like around 9 to 11. When it came to Tiny Monkey Stage, I always remember liking how freeing it was and how liberal it was with what I could do, what I couldn't do. There was nothing I couldn't do. I could talk about anything. I could just speak my heart out. And I think that's something that's so important that kids, I don't think they get it very often now. So to have a place where you can talk about everything that's going on, I think that's really important for young kids, especially now. So I think that would be, it's just amazing that you're restarting it. I just love the idea.
That was highlights of conversation that I had with Ananya. She was a part of Tiny Monkey Stage from a very young age, and it was so nice to talk to her after all these years. If you've been a past student of Tiny Monkey Stage, I'd love to talk to you. If you want to be a part of Tiny Monkey Stage when we restart, which will be a couple of months from now, please either subscribe to the YouTube channel as I'll keep posting stories, or there's a form with a link. You could just enroll there, and I'll write you an email when we are starting. Thank you.